I know I'm old enough to be his mother, but when the duck laid that kiss on me last night, I swear my thighs just went up in flames. He must practice on melons or something. We're doing Pretty in Pink for this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Yeah. Like Riff City, like that parody song. But if
Of course.
To make it about podding, but then still mention riffing. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do the song I just did?
Okay,
Well, yeah.
I think you should
do it.
I think you should do it.
You want me to do the
I
whole
want
thing?
you to no, just the bar. Just
Oh, you want me to go into it? Like Riff City Bitch, Riff City Bitch?
Yeah.
Well, I just
No,
did
I
it.
want you to do Pod City, bitch.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Pod City Bitch, Pod City Bitch. Now, what was you... You had another line.
Riffs, riffing on my titties, bitch.
Your own titties?
Shut up, come on. Man, I don't, I'm not the one on trial here.
You
that's-
go to a festival yesterday, huh?
I did. I went to a music festival yesterday.
You're covered in bruises. Veronica's got a little too brutal for you.
It honestly did. The pit collapsed.
I was literally just reading an article about the Melbourne show had a fucking wall of death.
Yeah, mine did too. I was.
Do they do it, or is it just the audience?
No, they're like guys were doing a fucking wall of death.
Man, that's crazy.
One of the Veronicas learned to scream as well.
That's sick. Hey, Sam.
Rose, Sam has your Uber Eats.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, man, it was fucking sick.
Who tutored her in screaming?
Bert McCracken did. And do you know how I know that?
Because
Bert McCracken came out and did Taste of Ink with the fucking Veronicas.
Wait, is Bert McCracken here though for the used, or does he just live here?
He lives in Australia.
Wow.
And the rest of
Why?
the used live overseas. Because he works for Channel V, apparently.
Does he?
Channel V
still a thing?
Or like he was working for Channel V and he's here for some other reason.
Does
But
he
I
have-
know it was because of Channel V originally.
Does he still have long hair?
No, he's got like short, like blonde hair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's pretty cool. Like he's a cool guy.
Did you see Monk Hoppus?
I did see Mark Hoppus. Yeah, anyway, so Bert McCracken toured Veronica's Scream. They also did a cover of I Miss You by Blink-182, which like me and Jack had a big cuddle while that was happening. That was lovely.
Yeah, right. Did you cry at all?
No.
At any point during the day?
No. There was none of my like favorite bands were there.
What was the pussy situation like?
Oh man, I'm calling in thick tomorrow.
that is a good rip.
Yeah, I busted that one out 5 times yesterday. I got one laugh.
How many? Yeah, and who gave you the laugh?
It was a vet.
Was it more just kind of like, well done, Andrew?
That's why you didn't get any laughs, because you were there with a vet.
No, a vet was laughing at it.
Is that more like if I laugh now, he'll stop busting it out?
It's possible that's what she was going for.
But
she knows me pretty well.
Did you bust it out a further couple of times?
Yeah, when she wasn't in earshot. I waited till she wasn't around. I was like, "Hey, person I just met, I'm calling in thick."
How was Simple Creatures live?
I only watched a couple songs because they were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were great. Like they were tight and sounded sick and shit. But
did they do banter?
They did do banter. That was what I wanted to report back on, and it was funny. They did funny banter. The chemistry's not as good, but
because Alex is a pretty
funny.
good banter
Alex
on
was
All Time
funny.
Low albums and stuff.
Yeah, he was funny, man. But it was just like it just wasn't the vibe of the day. It was like mostly pretty like I don't know. Like I was pretty G'd up for like pretty heavy stuff, and it was like very like poppy, whatever, which is great. But
So
it wasn't
they
like
didn't do a Wall of Death.
No, they did not do Wall of Death. They also were like on the smaller stage and like. But I went and checked out a couple songs.
Super cool to be able to see Mark Hoppus on a small stage
was
now. Like
great.
that doesn't happen.
So apparently you went in the circle pit for the first time in years.
I did. I'm covered in bruises right now. Yeah. Look at
Didn't we go in a circle pit for something together recently?
We like
went in a circle
we
pit?
dipped our
I'm
toe
like
in a
the
Thursday.
progressive person I know.
Yeah, we dipped our toe in a Thursday.
You've got to get it all out sometimes.
Get the rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like did a little bit at Thursday. This was like proper like.
No, I feel like we did one that was not because like Thursday's mosh pit was kind of weak. Remember? Because we kind of like
we kind of showed
'cause
those
we were
bitches
like-
who's boss.
Well, we were
Thursday is one of those bands where like their fans are kind of like a bit more on the like arty like pussy side.
yes and no. Like
How dare you talk about Jamie Kirk that way?
I've seen them before, and like
I like Thursday.
it's been
just,
like
feels like
they went off before. It was kind of like not enough people were watching them. That was like
Yeah, there was like 200.
the
of us.
simple fact is that like me and Hastings were like,
was that at a festival?
no, it was at Metro, and we were just
right.
like, we'll have to like push our way to the front. We just kind of walked all the way to the front.
It's only 200. That sucks.
It's probably a little more,
No, it was
but
like there was 200 like at the front. There would have been
Right.
500 standing, but
Metro
not
holds,
right
like,
at the front.
1,000 or something.
Yeah, there was lots of people sitting. It was pretty full. It's just there wasn't people like right up.
but it
the
wasn't
front.
like I would say that like
There
if,
was no shoving.
I would say that if you were to like then like tweet them and be like, "Are you coming back to Australia?" They'd be like, "The demand's not there."
Yeah, fuck maybe. We didn't circle pit for Taking Back Sunday, did we? Surely not. They wouldn't. They
No,
wouldn't.
because we were too far back when we saw it. We were just kind of like at,
At the
back.
Enmore we were far back. At the second time we went, we were really.
When did we
close.
go see? Oh, because for
We went to
Tell
the
All Your
Metro.
Friends Louder Now. Yeah, that was the last time we circled
Yeah,
pitted.
we saw. Did we do it for the double album tour?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
But that
this
was
still-
also another
The
one.
Veronicas was still way more hardcore. Also, Day to Remember, I also got pretty fucked up in. That was
Yeah,
pretty
Day
sick.
to Remember seems like it would be.
Yeah, that was like big time. They were the second biggest name on the poster. Like, that was huge.
You know, I don't realize like that style of band always comes up with a name that's really easy to like
Remember?
make fun of.
Yeah.
Day to remember, more like a day to forget.
Yeah, it's because it's a trend in like metalcore especially to do these really long pretentious band names. And Day to Remember's not that pretentious, but it's like definitely like I used to riff around.
Dillinger Escape Plan is a shit name. Good
Yeah.
band, but a shit name.
Oh man, they're all shit names. There's like me and a couple of boys back in the day, we'd riff around about how every metalcore band would have. But what happened was we saw a fish and chip shop that was called like
As I Lay Dying.
No, it was called like Atlantis City Food or something.
yeah.
And we were like, yeah, that sounds like a hardcore band because there's like 4 hardcore bands with the word Atlantis in the title.
It's like post rock as well, like This Will Destroy You and stuff.
Ugh, yeah, that sucks. Bands should be called cool things like the Smiths and My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best band name of all time?
Great question. Smashing Pumpkins is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think Taking Back Sunday is not bad.
I really like the Jesus Lizard.
I know this is going to sound biased, but honestly, I think My Chemical Romance is a great band name. It's from a William S. Burroughs book.
You'll hear no disagreement from me, good sir.
Thank you, James.
It is a great name.
I'm eating, so I can't be bothered.
I don't know.
Fallout Boy as like a cool Simpsons ref is not bad. It's just
Yeah.
like kind of like that's lost its effect.
I keep
now.
forgetting.
Yeah, same, of course.
Yeah.
Well, the band's bigger than the character was.
Yeah. I like Panic at the Disco is a shitty name.
Yeah, you should
Oh, it's a terrible name with the anything with the punctuation within the name, like Godspeed You, Black Emperor, and there's like an exclamation mark after the
Yeah, you can't put punctuation in a
very
band
good
title.
band, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also why that band Chick 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 sucks. That's how
Yeah,
you pronounce
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I saw them. Might have been earlier this year.
Okay, but I saw the Veronicas yesterday. Like, I don't-
We should do a Chick 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 cover band called Chicks, Chicks, Chicks. It's just chicks everywhere.
All right, but then
That's actually a great band name, Chicks on Speed.
Chicks Who Love Guns was a band I used to love, like a local band I was really into for a while.
What about Cute
I
is what
remember
we
you
aim
talking
for?
about them a lot.
Yeah, they were great. Cute is what we aim for. That's a very bad band name.
You
It's
think?
horrible.
It's a terrible.
I think it
one.
might be so cool.
Of course,
I think it might be actually the coolest. Oh fuck. What about
Stop wrecking our recorder.
what about
One of these days, we're going to be like, why does the Zoom not work? And I'll hold it upside down
Yeah.
and just beer, water,
Yeah.
wine will spill out of it.
It's like how did cum get in there?
I'm just
Somehow
slowly
weird.
rubbing
And how
my...
can I tell that it's tasting?
How
Yes.
weed will fall out.
Yeah.
Oh man, hell yeah.
Fucking, you've been smoking hell weed yesterday?
Not that much yesterday. I was at a festival.
It's harder to get away with it.
Yeah,
Those festivals.
I was doing hella other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beers.
I saw a photo of your eyes.
They would fully dilate. No, what's the opposite of dilated?
Clenched.
Oh wait, yeah.
They were tiny because I was right in the sun.
Pinpricks.
Yeah, they were pinprick eyeballs. But yeah, I was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Believe it.
but yes, I was quite messy. I accidentally did someone else's cap.
How? What?
Well, this was after the festival. I was back in a hotel room, and we were like, so the idea was we wanted to do like we'd already done one each, and we were going to do like a half each after that.
Fucking double dump.
And then no, like it was like 45 minutes later, and we like cracked open the cap and like chopped it up and split it in half so we could split it. And it was like on this mirror, and I could barely see. I'd been taking Dexies all day, and I was wasted drunk, so I'd been pounding beers, dehydrated, and already very high on MDMA. And so like, it's on this mirror and I keep like getting the line wrong because it's like I see the reflection and think that's the line and like the room's not super bright.
Oh, you dumb.
Anyway, I was just like trying to get it sorted and then I was like, all right, cool, I did it. And I looked and I was like, wait, the whole cap's gone. Like I did the whole fucking... Yeah.
In your...
So then she had to be like, yeah, you need to give me your spare cap right now. Like, I was like, oh, fuck, all right. Like,
Who said that?
my friend who I was doing drugs with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds wholesome.
It wasn't. It was...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it got pretty real. It was great.
Yeah, my night
I don't really
really
fucking-
What do you mean it got
wholesome
pretty
turned
real?
gross very
Oh,
quickly.
like, we had a lot of sex.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is that what that always means?
Pretty much. I keep it real.
Wait, you've said we got real before. Have I? Is that why my bottom hurt so
Yeah,
much?
man, we fucked. I'm offended you don't remember.
Nah, I loved it. Every
Yeah,
moment.
of course.
Every moment.
Of course you did. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what other cool bands I saw. Fucking Violent Soho were great. Fucking and Shikari still go real hard. They were sick. They were like surprisingly sick. Falling in Reverse suck.
Yeah.
People were booing him.
Wait,
and
so
shit.
who is it? Still Ronnie Radke?
So
he's back now.
No, Ronnie Radke is just Falling in Reverse. The rest pretty
Where
much
did Ronnie Radke start?
Escape
then?
the Fate.
Right,
is what you're
right,
thinking
right,
of.
right.
He went
right,
left
right,
Escape
right,
the Fate,
right,
went
right,
to
right.
Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse.
Have you two just spotted that I'm eating and are just using this opportunity to have this talk on the podcast?
No, because otherwise we'd be talking about video games.
No, I think you should be taking this opportunity to eat. I think that's what you should be.
That's fair, I am.
Yeah, we work as a team.
Yeah.
No, like Ronnie Radke, like there were all the punk dudes at the back were
I got some
booing him
video
and shit.
game stuff to ask you after this.
Yeah, we
anyway.
can do that.
Yeah.
Why do people boo the guy?
He's like
He's a piece of shit sex criminal.
he's like
right.
he's beat it up, and also he's been to jail for being an accomplice to murder.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was why he got that.
What did he do?
He was involved. He was in a gang fight essentially, and a guy got shot, and it was a guy.
Didn't he snitch as well?
I think he did. I don't know if that's confirmed. I think he did. There's also rumors
Was he,
that
like, withholding info or something? Like,
no, it was like he was there when he was one of the guys who organized a fight where a guy on his side killed a guy on the other side.
fucking hell.
Yeah, like there was someone brought a gun and shot a guy, like, and it was his mate who shot the guy. Yeah, anyway, but the people like all the old punks at the back were booing him and shit. At one point, they were having like
Did they notice?
No, but something else bad happened.
It's hard to at a festival, I think, 'cause it's like big and
Yeah, but then like when the water bottles start coming out,
Yeah, no, like
yeah.
the people at the
Did I ever tell you about when I saw Jared? What's
McGowan?
his face?
Henderson.
way.
Gerard Way.
Yeah.
Oh, was that at the festival where he got pegged with bottles?
Like copped a like probably half full Mount Franklin like right in the face.
Yeah, poor guy.
And just like it really flummoxed him. It
That
was
seems
very
so
funny
mean
to watch.
Why
for
would-
someone who's never done anything wrong.
Why would you be so mean to someone so sensitive and kind?
Yeah,
Like, just
exactly.
some dude, like I was.
No, it's Gerard Way, the creator.
The Umbrella Academy.
No, I was like standing next.
Danger
to this,
Days. Ever heard of it? The comic book series, I mean.
Doom
It was at the
Patrol.
big day out, and I was standing like sort of next to this, like next to the guy who threw it, who like looked like the exact opposite person who would enjoy My Chemical Romance, and he's clearly just going, "Fuck this shit," and just thrown.
Man.
What a tool.
They will not be treated that way at download. I will make sure of it personally. But yeah, anyway, there must have been some issue with the fold back for Falling in Reverse because everything sounded fine. I could hear everything. The levels were all fine. It was whatever. But the guy kept being like, Ronnie Radke kept being like, fucking sound problems. What the fuck's going on? And like,
The sound problem is that people are booing you.
no, in their defense, there would have been 2,000 people there just for them, and we're loving it. And like, saw a lot of Falling in
little
Reverse
less
shows.
booing in my monitor.
Because like a lot of young women like Falling in
Yeah,
Reverse, oddly
absolutely.
enough.
Yeah, well, he brands himself as like a bad boy, and this is part of what he did, right? He
Oh, they're like tortured artist bullshit.
no,
No,
more
like completely
more
like the bad boy.
like I'm like I do drugs and that's cool.
yeah,
like more like that
you
kind.
shouldn't
So,
bring
like
me
you.
home to your mom.
Yeah, it's like I've got a bad reputation.
yeah,
like,
but
it's
there's
that
like
kind of guy.
it's even
Yeah,
more
this
like
sounds like you.
no, it's nothing like Hastings because there's also like he kind of like. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he does kind of use the like fact that like he's violent as like a cool
Yes.
selling point.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
Like-
he's violent and that he's like kind of a scumbag. And
Yeah,
like,
that's real lame.
Yeah.
he did a song called "I'm Not a Vampire," and it's about how he's like an addict. And it's like set in rehab. He's very like, oh, I'm a bad boy.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
horrible. But anyway, so he ends up yelling at the sound guy at the back of the fucking like the thing, being like, "Hey, fuck you, sound guy," and then like nothing happened.
That's fucking
Oh,
such bad.
It's
band.
so embarrassing.
I would have just started playing the Seinfeld theme as
Yeah,
a sound
man.
guy.
If you were the sound guy at a festival, just doing that during like a radio headset or something.
Man, but like if you get disrespected like that as a sound guy, you have to be like, you
That would
fucking,
be-
I hold the power here.
Yeah.
That would be a good Instagram account. It's just like you being in the crowd for like really well-respected bands and then just holding up the Seinfeld theme music while they play.
The other day, me and Charlie were doing that to a guy holding a sign outside a Christmas stop, waving it. So we were playing "Suicide is Painless" through there. Anyway, so he told the sound guy to fuck off. He doesn't mention again. 2 songs later, he's like, and I'm not exaggerating here. He said the most obnoxious fucking shit I've ever heard. He goes,
I hate this.
I want to say I'm sorry to the sound guy. It's unprofessional. I shouldn't have told you to fuck off or said fuck you or whatever he did. It's just, it was in the heat of the moment. That's all it was. And like, because you can't understand the stress I'm under being up here on stage. It's so stressful. You can't understand unless you stood on this stage how stressful it is. But you know what? I guess I am kind of an asshole. Anyway, here's my new single, Asshole.
So he did it on purpose.
I think he
probably.
saw an opportunity to segue.
Oh man!
When he told the sound guy to fuck off, it seemed like a real,
Man,
genuine
fake-
lash.
fake-
But what did the sound
Fake
guy do?
honesty
Nothing.
from
It was
those.
like it was a kilometer. It was 500 meters back.
Yeah.
Like,
He's probably sitting there smoking a dart and doesn't give a
yeah,
shit.
he doesn't give a fucking.
But like all that faked honesty from those bands like that is so
Yeah.
cringy.
But then with the asshole thing, it was like the whole song was like,
Was it a cover of Dennis Leary's
man, if
Arsehole?
it was, I would have given them set of the day.
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Yeah, that includes the Veronica's doing an "I Miss You" cover. Also, Real Big Fish did a cover of "Self Esteem" by The Offspring in the middle
how
of beer.
fucking fun are Real Big Fish like?
I hate Scar, and they were a lot of fun. They were
so much
great.
fun.
Yvette loves them.
He,
So
like,
yeah,
Aaron, I think his name is the main guy, is like quite funny.
he was being quite funny yesterday. He was good. He had like clout goggles on. That was pretty funny.
What logos?
You know, there's like big
what?
white. The sunglasses with the big white rims, and they're like oval shaped.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like
yeah,
SoundCloud rappers wear them and shit.
Yeah, I know what you're
But
talking
But they're
about.
also popular with like Scar and shit. Yeah, they're called clout goggles because the Instagram cunts wear them.
I was worried that they were steampunk for a second. Then.
No,
It was
no.
all
That would be even cooler.
The outfits for Scar, like, because I have very little experience with Scar. It's like Scar bands really do go for the Scar thing.
Oh,
Like-
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they were all. Every member of the band had at least one checkered pattern thing on them. Like
Yeah.
there was a guy, like the trombone player was wearing like a suit, like no jacket, but a suit with like the vest and like a fedora type thing, and like checkered Vans and shit.
This all
and like
checks out.
dancing with his trombone. It's like they really go for it.
I've
Like,
noticed a real re-emergence of checkered Vans lately.
that's wild.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I had several pairs.
I
as a-
think
as a
yeah.
younger man.
I was gonna say I think we should get some.
I had pink and black checkered Vans that I wore for years.
That's pretty cool.
For a 15-year-old, it was kind of cool.
And for a 30-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Well made.
Does that mean like how much of the stuff that is cool for a 15-year-old is still cool for you now?
I mean, I guess you could argue all of it.
Having sex
Well,
with
it's cool with
having
you.
sex with 16-year-olds
Oh,
still
come
cool.
on, Jamie. No. I made sure they were
we
wearing.
didn't agree on which episode we were doing, so that was good. That helped me at least figure out which one we're doing.
Oh, okay.
I'm still undecided.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit.
No, we could just do whatever.
Yeah, I'm the one that reads the thing out.
Yeah.
I keep talking, I'm silly.
Yeah, quick, let's get to the video game segment. Rose has almost finished her
All right,
video
hit
game.
me, baby.
All right, so I'm flying out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I want to get, I reckon there's a choice.
You got
but-
switch for the flight?
Oh, you better believe I'm
Yeah.
going
Next
switch on the
time we
flight.
record, it'll be next year.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
So this will be like the New Year's episode.
I think this will be Boxing Day, maybe.
I thought we weren't.
Yeah, but we have the episodes to
Great
do it.
Australian tradition.
Yeah.
Boxing Day test, and we'll just tell your mother we ate it all on in the background.
It syncs up
That's
perfect.
actually a great idea to make a running tradition.
It also syncs up perfectly. What's going on?
Oh.
Okay.
So I thought you cut your hand and we are gonna have to rush you to the hospital.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
No, there's just coconut.
Yeah. What are you playing on the plane, baby?
Well, I'm tossing up between getting a Dragon Quest, the Grandia remaster,
Uh-huh.
and there was some other. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. From everything I've heard, everyone reckons Dragon Quest.
They're all-
I'm also thinking of getting Celeste just to like play.
You
as, like,
you
a
are
platformer.
such a fucking weeb. It's like crazy how much of a weeb you
You
are.
mean 3 like critically acclaimed
no,
games?
of course, but it's like it seems like yeah, it's yeah, basically yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Will your wife like cop any video game talk?
no, she'll sit there silently in her Tifa cosplay.
I wish, brother.
I saw her going for a run the other morning.
Of course, she loves running.
Rose, that sounded very creepy. I saw her going for a run. This morning. It was the tone, nothing in the actual words.
I think you misread that.
possibly.
Nah, it's not at all. No, she. Yeah.
I saw your wife going for a bath. this
She.
morning.
What was the game I was?
That would be creepy.
She thinks Stardew Valley is crazy. Like,
Really?
yeah, which is
I guess
weird
that's
because
like-
it seems like the one with the lowest barrier to entry.
It's also, I guess, if you understand video games to be this like intense problem solving,
Sure.
like a linear sort of narrative, sort of like challenge, bigger challenge, bigger challenge, etc., etc.
She's kind of amused by Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, well, Phoenix Wright's hilarious.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy she kind of understands.
Well, that
I
one
think she might just be pretending for you on that one.
She might have been making the effort.
Yeah.
No, like I think she understands in a way that she like understands I like it,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah,
like
right.
there's no way to make fun of it without violent
Deeply hurting your
rage. Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, Vet doesn't make fun of emo music to me. Like she's like she knows that's off limits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are a couple of things that
Yeah.
you
just can't let him get away with.
Yeah, yeah. You just gotta keep them in line.
Oh baby. What'd you do last night, Rose? What's everyone else been up to?
I went and saw Geraldine Hickey's show Things Are Going Well at the Comedy Store. It
Oh,
was
yeah?
Very, very good.
I saw like a 10-minute spot from that show and she kept saying things are going well in the bit. It was great.
It's a very good
She's
show.
very funny.
It's a very good show.
Yeah, she's dope.
And then we went out to drink after, and then someone was like, let's go to Bag. And I was like, yeah, it's a great idea. And it wasn't a good idea.
Aren't you unemployed?
I didn't pay for it.
Oh, well, then absolutely go ahead, Queen. I forgot that girls do coke for free. I forgot that.
I mean, no one was trying to fuck me.
That you know of.
Yeah, but I mean, you got the free shit that you wanted.
Yeah, it's still just like... It seems ruder to ask girls. Is that sexist that I think it's ruder to ask girls for money for coke? And like, I still do. Like, I like... Whenever girls are always like, I never play for cocaine, guys, I do give to them. Like, what guys? Like, I would never...
think it's expensive and you're well within your rights to ask anyone.
Yeah.
I think it depends.
Oh, I don't with my... But I feel a bit weird asking...
You ask everyone, or do you let the people you want to have sex with slide?
No, I ask everyone.
Okay, well that's perfect.
I've
That's
like
fine.
been hanging out with
That's
dates.
almost gentlemanly.
I've been like on date, like not dates, but like
Hey, can you
with
be
girls
that?
I'm
And also,
with.
let's fuck.
And I'll be like, I'll give you, if you buy me a beer, I'll give you a bump. Like I've done that to like girls I'm trying to fuck that moment. Like,
That sounds
That
so
sounds
creepy.
so sinister. Yeah,
It really does.
no, if you buy me a drink,
yeah, I know.
what's sinister about that?
It just
Still-
sounds a
it
little
just
like quid
sounds-
pro quo, kind of like
Bump and beer though. There's no
bump
sex
and beer,
involved in
but
it.
then later.
No. I'm ripping them off with the beer for the bump. If anything, the sex is not part of that exchange.
Are you ripping them off with the beer for the bump?
I don't know. Depends how big the bump
Aren't they
is.
ripping you off, really?
Nah, bumps are still like quite. There's a lot
A
of
bump would
money
be
in
like
each one.
$15-20 probably, right? Like,
So they are ripping you off.
I guess not ripping me off, but it's like I'll get something for it. Like,
Yeah, see, that's what makes it sinister.
I think people doing it. I think transactional exchanges are fine, just as long as it's not like something crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you,
All
dog.
sex is transactional, but the coke isn't included in that particular transaction.
Yeah, right.
It's more to do with I get an orgasm, you get an orgasm, or I get an orgasm. You don't have to,
Wash the dishes.
yeah, whatever it is.
So I've got to bloody mow the fucking lawn.
Yeah,
Always pay for it in some way.
I can't tell that one.
Why? You looked quite amused by yourself then.
Always looks quite amused by himself.
No, but more so than usual.
One time, wait, what was it? No, that means I got two things in this arrangement. That doesn't make any sense. I think I had sex with a vet in exchange for a lift, but that doesn't sound right. Surely it would have gone the other way around.
It also does sound right.
But I wouldn't normally. No, maybe it's something else. I did
Oh,
for
no,
a-
wait. You get the lift?
That's what I meant.
That doesn't sound
Yeah,
right.
that doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
but something
yeah,
there was
yeah.
some exchange of lift and sex. But she's the only one who can provide either of those things.
Like a can of lift or like a 600ml bottle.
Like drive me to the guy who sells me weed. house.
Oh, the 600ml bottle.
Oh, the 600. Yeah, man. What's your favorite container to drink soft drink out of? Can,
Glass
600ml, 1.25,
bottle.
glass bottle, glass in a kitchen.
Glass bottle.
What about a cardboard post-mix McDonald's cup? I'm going to throw a fucking spanner in the works there.
I'm hating that right now.
I'm honestly think it's like the best kind.
McDonald's Coke is
It's
second to glass bottle Coke.
And then like regular. I would go. I think you're right. I think glass bottle Coke.
McDonald's Coke is fantastic for a hangover.
It is. That's famously true. I'd go McDonald's Coke. I'd go glass bottle Coke, McDonald's Coke, regular can of Coke. But I think the 250 cans are tastier.
I hate plastic
those,
bottle.
Plastic bottle's the worst.
They come in a glass bottle. I've been smashing those Jarritos.
Oh yeah.
lime
I think
one.
isn't it Juaritos?
Fucking good.
Juaritos.
It's J. It's with wa.
Wah,
Right?
wah.
It's not wah because there's no U.
I don't.
It's a H.
I don't know if that's right.
Juaritos?
Jarritos.
Isn't a H if it's with a G? Not a J?
No.
Like Geraldo's Geraldo? Like
Geraldo.
yeah.
So-
Geraldo and Geraldo are the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know names.
Yeah, Doug. Hardware.
Anne, Amy, Andrew, Annabelle, Alex,
Now do the whole alphabet.
Bob, Cassandra, Dean,
Ezekiel.
Emily,
Emeloid.
Emily,
Emeloid.
Fred,
My android girlfriend, Emeloid.
George. Hey, Fred and George, Harry Potter. Hubert.
And Freddie and George.
Hubert is what you went with?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's an I one? Isabel.
Yes.
Our new housemate is called
H-I-J. Jack. Kevin.
Interesting that you said Jack and not Jamie. Telling.
Lorne.
Lorne!
I know exactly what
Great.
name he's going to say for R.
No, you don't.
M.
It's M. Michael.
Yeah.
Nelly.
Oh, yeah.
Olivia.
Yep.
Polly.
Q. L-M-N-O. P. Oh, yeah. P.
Quentin.
Yep.
Ursula.
No, that's you, dude.
Richard
Yeah.
is
I
what?
thought he was going to dead.
Richard.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say
No, I was
going
going to go Richard and then work that back around to Dick and then make it transphobic was going to be the game.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah, I couldn't get it quick enough. but-
Okay, S.
Sam.
T.
Tom.
U.
Ursula.
Yep. V.
Veronica.
Oh, why did I make that name?
Because I didn't say Reese.
W.
William. That's my brother.
X.
Xavier.
Yeah.
I know
Y.
Xavier. Fuck. Why?
What about someone
bet.
you hang out with? I was gonna say someone you hang out with every day.
Yvette.
Yaz.
Zed. There's a million Chinese names starting with Z. I see him every day.
Yeah,
Work.
but you could also just do like a very popular
Zeke.
male's name. Okay.
Zoe.
Zach.
Yeah, I forgot about all of those names. Forgot about my friend Zach.
Man, that was good content. Did that last 25 minutes?
Hell yeah, dude. Want to start the pod?
I guess we should.
I'm still eating.
Yeah, but we're 26 minutes in.
Okay, welcome.
Let's
to
make
It
this
Wouldn't
just
Tell Your Mother
riffing
We
again.
Ate It All. A podcast about teen sex comedies.
How many
Things
episodes?
thereabouts. We're doing Pretty in Pink. We're doing the episode that we were supposed to do when we did our famous drill bit. Oh, also
Or
we are broadcasting
are we?
live from the blast hole.
Yeah.
From the blast
As
zone.
per usual.
Beautiful map of the ocean right to my right.
We haven't looked at each other once. We've just been looking at the map of the ocean.
Anyone
Well,
been
they
out?
have. I've been looking at the jet ski keys.
Yeah. Anyone been out on the jet ski recently?
No, not for a while.
Me neither. But those keys.
It's when we want them, they're there.
It's
Um,
nice to know that, like, you know, it still exists.
I think how much fun we had with the blast hole. It'll be funny because we don't know how that episode will be, because that episode hasn't been released at time of recording.
Correct.
So we don't know how it's been received.
No.
It'll be so funny that when it's like just panned.
oh yeah. By AV Club.
Yeah.
Vulture.
They'll write articles that'll be read more than anyone's ever listened to our podcast about how bad that episode is.
Oh,
we got
and we'll be like,
snubbed
that's the best.
by Junkie again.
Again?
Yeah.
They did 14 most influential podcasts of the decade. No mention.
I swear to God, if Serial made the cut and we didn't,
It
It
did.
did.
I'm going right over to
No,
there.
it did. It was obviously like it was. I think it was probably started as like 10, but then they just added in 4 Australian ones.
I'm gonna get
So
the.
Finding Drago was on.
I'm going to get the list up because we've done this before, but we can do a pithy put down for each of these shitty podcasts.
I'm in, baby. How many of them do we know personally, Rose?
At least one.
One, yeah,
Just Drago?
yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I've met Mark Fennell, but I don't know him.
Okay. I've never met him.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah. Am I slamming this up?
Well, we can all do it.
All right. Give me that alley. I'll do the oop.
All right, here we go. Cereal. Yeah.
If cereal was a cereal, it would be all brand.
Yeah. Adnan
Boring
Syed.
and dry, bitch.
Adnan Syed, guilty of being a bitch.
Eat twigs.
Yeah. That's what your podcast is like.
Yeah. Pop culture happy hour. It's not a fucking happy hour when we listen to this bullshit.
Pop culture. Why don't you pop a fucking bullet in your head?
Can I return to cereal for a bit? Like,
Yeah.
Genuinely, one of the most like ultimately disappointing listening experiences of all time.
I've
Yeah.
never listened. Anything that isn't comedy podcast is for nerds.
We should always also maybe after each put down we should also say why we're more influential.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Serious. Oh, an investigative podcast. Have
Yeah.
you tried being 3 people talking about movies? I don't think so.
Investigate my blast hole, cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
We have investigated your life to
Yeah.
the nth degree.
Man,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's much
We've
more
really cracked the case of Hastings.
It's a much more thrilling psychological profile than a guy who's clearly guilty of being boring. Pop culture happy hour. How we better than them? What do they do? The word,
I don't even know.
the word freewheeling is what sets PCHH apart. First off, don't fucking. The acronym's got to be really hard to do, like R1. The word freewheeling is what sets PCHH apart from the millions of podcasts dedicated to pop culture. Excuse me, we regularly don't talk about the movie until more than 2/3 through the episode.
If you're freewheeling, I'm Highway 66, baby.
Yeah. And I'm fucking free balling.
Does that make sense?
No.
It's Highway 61.
Whatever.
But I got what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm blonde.
You are blonde.
WTF.
So am I naturally.
WTF with Mark Maron.
Mark Maron.
Yeah.
Mark Maron. More like Mark Marionette. That guy's a fucking puppet.
He's a puppet for the Jewish media.
Fucking puppet getting a bomber on? Getting a bomber on?
Maybe you should eat a bullet.
Hey, what
Kill yourself.
does the WTF stand for? What the fuck?
Yeah. What
Yeah.
the fuck is this bullshit? And how we...
Also, Mark Maron was very rude to my friend on Twitter when she called him out for being whorephobic.
Yeah, good stuff. And also, he tells that same story about Lorne Michaels all the time. Have we ever told a story about Lorne Michaels? No.
Oh, also,
Fuck
Ben
you.
Elwood has beef with him.
Oh, does he?
Like, did before he was famous.
That's
yeah.
funny.
Like, they hung out in Melbourne a bunch and had a bit of a falling out.
Teacher's Pet. It says you can't even listen to this podcast now because it's temporarily unavailable in
Teacher's
Australia.
Pet.
Our podcast
It's 'cause
is very available.
I know all about Teacher's Pet because it's about the high school around the corner from where I grew up.
Yeah, it's like real.
It's Cromer. It's the suburb next to Narrowena. It's Cromer High. It's about a pedophile teacher, which we all knew about. Like, it's like that story's been around for years. Like,
We've got a fucking pedophile on our podcast.
Yeah, that's like way better.
no, and I'm from Narrowena. Hey, teachers.
I thought you were participating in
Teacher's Pet. That's what I call people who listen to your dumbass podcast. We
Yeah.
only have jocks and cool guys listen to ours.
Yeah, fucking
Our fans hate
burnout
us.
Oh,
dweebies.
We hate our fans.
No, our fans hate me.
All right.
The next one, Comedy Bang Bang. What's up, hot dog? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, come on, man. What's
You
up, hot
can't
dog?
Say what's up to a hot dog.
Yeah,
hot dog
exactly.
Is not sentient.
More like a United Cunts Brigade.
That's funny.
Hey man, I give you a lot of shit on here, but I got to give it.
This
Smart shit.
this American
Yeah, dude.
this
I love the
American
pod.
this American life.
Oh man, take this American wife, all right,
Yeah.
please.
Or maybe this American life should end by eating a bullet, Ira Glass.
This American life. How about more like Kurt Cobain's life? How
Yeah,
about that?
2.5 million downloads a week. How about 120 a week or so?
And kiss my
Real numbers are larger than that.
ass.
Yes. How did this get made? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Man, got him.
What are you
and done.
asking me for?
One and done.
It's your fucking podcast.
The best film criticism you'll ever hear is on a podcast where comedians talk about bad films. All right, well, no one's ever called us critics. We regularly talk about movies sometimes.
Yeah.
like in this episode
Yeah.
so far.
There's
Hey,
an
there's a movie in the title of this episode.
Yeah, we'll get there.
snowball. How about you watch me and Andrew Hastings do a snowball?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Where we
As soon as
kiss
you
after
said snowball,
coming,
as
passing
soon as you
cum
said snowball,
into
I was
each
like, yeah,
other's
me
mouth.
and Jamie will come in each other's mouth and swap the cum.
Yeah.
I did not know what that was.
It's where you get cum in your mouth and put it in someone else's mouth.
By
and they put it
kissing,
inside-
the
and it
art
gets
of
bigger
kissing.
because the spit adds to it.
Yes.
It's disgusting.
Personally, I'm more of a felching fan.
I've watched it in porn.
Yeah.
Snowballing, not felching.
The next one, It Burns. Yeah, because it fucking sucks.
Yeah, didn't this podcast just come out?
Yeah, the race to grow the world's hottest chili. That's not even... Okay, first off, if you're into chili,
Also,
you're
that's
automatically a dork.
But
like,
that's also just glomming on to hot ones.
yeah,
of course.
And if you like eating a chili, I got something for you to eat. What do you reckon it is, Hastings?
I reckon it's a fucking bullet.
yeah.
Oh,
Harmontown. Well, that's just fucking finished. It did its last episode.
Dan Harmon's cancelled as well.
Oh, yeah, but he's been uncancelled.
He's gone because for doing the
subsequently.
right kind of apology.
He was being uncancelled is called being renewed.
Yeah. Oh, that's
that's
good.
not
He got a
bad.
last-minute renewal from the network.
Yeah.
But not from us. With a legit claim to be a cult, the only podcast... Excuse me, we have Jackson Stewart listens to our podcast, and he's...
Most weeks.
And he's far more likely to be a cult member than any of these neckbeards.
Preach.
You talking you two to me? No, we're not.
No, we're talking about Pretty in Pink or Drills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving this podcast.
Maybe the occasional fan bud.
My favorite murder... Well, I mean, that's pretty
I think
self-explanatory.
my favorite murder personally will be the murder you commit on yourself
When you eat a bullet.
When you eat a fucking bullet.
The ultimate true crime fan Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The only true crime is that we're not on this list. You must
Yes, very good.
you must remember this.
I don't.
No,
You
in
fucking
fact,
idiots.
I haven't even fucking heard of it.
How about you just be good and I'll remember it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding Drago, a masterwork of niche podcasting. I think you'll find we're pretty niche.
Finding Drago, I think that's that podcast where Alexi Toliopoulos and Cameron James investigate sort of a piece of writing, like sort of by a fan of the series, Rocky, but the writing is a suicide note for Alexi Toliopoulos and Cameron James for when they pull a bullet in their mouth.
That was such a great long bow. And if
Finding
they're...
Drago, more like finding funding.
Yeah.
Yes, come
Well,
on.
when you
We'd crush it too if we had funding from the ABC and were talented.
Yeah, and we were funny in any way.
The exact same
And we
thing.
had an original premise that
I'd
was
just
good.
be here in a top hat.
What about you?
If anything, it would be worse because you'd just buy more drugs with the money.
Yeah.
Why don't you find yourself dragging my balls across your face, Alexi and Cam? Both guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
They were much better here than they were on their own podcast.
This was a much better medium for them.
And that's
Yeah.
all of them.
They
And maybe we
flourished.
should... Cameron Williams is a writer and film critic who made this list. He's obviously never listened to our podcast. So, guys, if you want a Twitter bomb...
Yeah,
Yeah, guys.
please.
Tweet Cameron Williams. Williams was it?
yeah, Cameron
Tweet
Williams.
Cameron Williams to make it the top 15 most influential.
And then
podcasts
wait
of
for
day.
the junky article that's like, toxic fandom forced me to listen to bad podcasts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we'll get an interview with him and we'll just tell him to eat a fucking bullet.
Hey, if you're listening to this to cancel us because our fans are toxic and harassed a man on Twitter, you're welcome. Okay.
Also, if you're listening to this and you found our fans are toxic and they've harassed people, congratulations. You're listening to a podcast. Like,
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, like, what's worse? Like, us Twitter bombing or a bunch of Comedy Bang Bang fans being like, hey, Nong Man. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, get
fuck.
fucked, all of you.
Yeah. Podcast listeners are the worst people in the world.
Yeah.
They
Screaming this
are.
directly into the Zoom. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about this fucking movie, I guess.
Yeah. What did you reckon?
I think the fact that we skipped an entire episode just to talk about drills and jet skis and airboats and a secret cave den, and then spent
Which we're
30
currently in.
yeah, and then spent 36 minutes of the next episode talking about anything except the film, lets you know exactly how I felt about the film. It sucked. I didn't like it. It was boring.
It was quite boring.
It was very boring. John Hughes is boring.
I like it a lot more than I like 16 Candles.
I liked it a lot
way
more than I like 16
way
Candles.
Way more.
But John Cryer is... I wanted to put his head through a windshield. I wanted to strangle him and watch the life drain from his eyes. It was horrific.
Yeah, he does suck.
Yeah, he sucks a lot. I once heard somebody say that he is actually the true hero of the film.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say that, like, supposedly you're supposed to read it as she chose the wrong guy,
Yeah.
which is crazy. The handsome, cool jock who's just a little conflicted because of social differences.
Well, that's
or
just
whatever,
more-
That's just a fucking incel stalker.
That's just more a
Well,
changing
this
of
is
the
like
times.
This is like a friend zone movie.
Yeah.
That's probably created the idea of it.
The friend zone is what I call the woman I'm having sex with pussy, all right? Because I'm friends with all
The
of them.
nice friend.
Yeah, they're my friend zone.
Yeah, well, I think this is more just like
Shake hands with it.
it's more just a commentary
Sorta.
of changing of the times more than anything. Like the reason it sticks out is because there are so many articles on things like the aforementioned piece of shit website Junkie about like how
Junkie's cancelled.
yeah, about how like times have changed and like we don't no longer root for Ducky because he is toxic masculinity or whatever. But like like a whole
Nothing masculine.
But man,
It's still toxic masculinity.
but there's like a
It's under
whole
the umbrella.
but there's like a whole generation of dudes growing up like before that being like, yeah, I'm the Ducky, and that's the better one to be ultimately. And like the original cut of the movie, he was the one who hooked up with her.
Really?
And then test audiences hated it, so they changed it
Yeah,
at
'cause
last
he
minute.
sucks.
But then like there's still like a fervent. It's like almost like the people who want the Snyder cut released.
Yes, of
there
course.
are a bunch of people.
I
who
would
think,
love to see the
Yeah.
Snyder cut.
Oh,
It would be
baby, me
so
too.
bad.
Just like fetish shots of Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
the
it'd
whole
be
time.
crazy.
Um,
So like, why have you just got Batman scream crying for 10 minutes straight? Why have you got...
Yeah, there is a whole contingent of people like who have watched this movie who think that the alternate ending of Ducky ending up with her is like the true canon ending because that's what John Hughes originally intended.
I know I say this every time we do a John Hughes movie, but like just in case this is someone's first episode, you kind of got to get on the record. John Hughes' obsession with Molly Ringwald is
It's cute.
disgusting. It is so upsetting.
it's pedophilic.
She's really good in this movie, I think.
She's a good actress.
She was
Like,
actually
I get
good in
why
this.
she blew
and
up.
so is
like,
Harry Dean Stanton.
Sure. Okay.
I thought he was great in it.
I liked. What's her name? I can't remember the actress's name.
Who is she?
The older
Carmen
friend.
Electra.
I love her.
Electra.
Yeah.
Maxim 100, baby.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine, the movie, I guess.
I'm looking it up.
What's the guy who plays...
Andrew McCarthy. Like,
He's a bit weird looking, isn't he?
Yeah.
but like, what's the appeal? Why is he like the extreme object of her affection?
It also never kind of, like, states why they like each other.
No.
Yeah.
Like, why should...
That's
Like,
what I
beyond the
mean.
fact that they both think they're
Just
hot.
like, oh, he's
She
hot
has red hair and he's hunky. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, is he... he's kind of got, like, a small
little
face.
He's
Quirky.
supposed to be like popular and
Yeah.
cool, though.
But I mean, like, James Spader is objectively more handsome
Man,
than...
James Spader is... I love James Spader.
He's
Yeah.
looking real good in this.
Have you seen James Spader's run in The American Office?
Yeah.
I think it's like the highlight of the whole series. I think it's so fucking funny.
I think it sucks.
You hate like really?
My friend.
If I remember
basically-
right, I think I do, yeah.
Robert California?
Yeah, I think that's bad,
Fuck,
right?
I
Isn't
love Robert California.
Do
I think
you?
he's so funny.
My friend.
He has like an orgy at his house and stuff. It's
My
great.
friend from high school essentially became a lawyer because of Alan Shaw on Boston Legal.
Oh, that is misguided.
Yeah. Very.
That's sick,
Oh,
though.
man, this beer's going down all right. It's helping with the old hangover.
Yeah, you got to get me one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's helping with the old
Be
hangover
careful.
a little bit.
Please be careful.
Please be careful.
Please be careful. Please be
Please
careful.
be careful. Yeah, this movie fucking sucked. I hate it. Also,
Annie Potts is the actress. She's
Pepper
like
Potts.
She's like Bo Peep in Toy Story and shit. Yeah.
hey, is it just me or
I
does...
thought she was super hot and probably the most enjoyable part of the film.
have you guys noticed that like Molly Ringwald doesn't talk very much in any John Hughes movies?
It's
No,
because
she
she just
does.
pulls that face.
She bites
got
her
that
lip a
face.
lot.
She does bite her lip a lot. And look, I'm not writing in to complain about that one.
It does get me.
Well,
every time.
Weasel Zappa is in this movie.
Who
Fuck,
does?
really? Dweezil Zappa's is
Frank
Frank Zappa's
kid.
son, and
Ah,
he's
yeah.
also a musician. So if you're a fucking prog nerd or whatever.
No, I'm not.
What did you
Fucking
think of the
Prog?
Dice Man being in it?
Oh, I
I
love
love the
it.
Dice Man.
So sick.
I'm always happy to see the Dice Man, baby.
It also makes like no sense. Like
No.
he's just there doing bits with I was going to call him Paulie Shaw for a minute, but John Cryer.
He's got a bit of a Paulie Shaw oaf.
I want to
energy about it.
headbutt John Cryer, not the character, the man. I want to headbutt John Cryer until his skull collapses. That's how I feel about him. I
What do you think?
Man, that'd take a few headbutts, I reckon.
I'd do it with some force.
What do you think he should eat?
I think he should perhaps eat a bullet of my cum.
The perfect intersection of what we're capable of, junkie.
If you could see my brain, then it would be like, you know, in Terminator, where like you see the Terminator's point of
Yeah.
view. It's like, dude, that's me going like, all right, I've got two things. How do I like? Yeah,
That scene where he walked in and did the dance
Yeah.
Like, I nearly threw my shoe at the
Yeah.
screen.
I've never wanted to. Have you ever seen like it's in fiction and stuff, but where like they do like a prison shanking, they do it really low and they just do it like 10 times.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, because apparently I was taught in a safety thing that I'm doing for work the other day. That is the best way to stab someone. Like that's like you're trying to avoid that happening to you. Was the idea, but like I got the instinct to do that to him for some reason in that scene where he was dancing and lip syncing.
Yeah, that one was like really weird because I guess like it's supposed to be so charming.
Well, like because Ferris
But it
Bueller's
comes
scene that similar worked.
But it comes out of nowhere, and neither of them look impressed by it.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a failure on their part because like you're supposed to. They're supposed to at least a little be like the emotion I thought that was supposed to be conveyed by them is like kind of like mix of eye roll and also like, but it's a little cute.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
that's how I read it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
they kind of make it seem not that.
Yeah, they're just like, this. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, which is probably how you'd honestly react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, there's no way at
Like,
any
you might
point.
do that, like with.
I'd
your
push him over.
Yeah, like if you went in here and you started like lip syncing "Taking Back Sunday," me and Rose wouldn't let you finish the entire
No.
song. We'd just be like,
Goes
"Shut
for
up."
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be funny for 10 seconds.
It
And then
feels
yeah.
like the kind of thing, that you would do for 15 seconds in your room with your partner.
yeah, sure.
Like existing, they already like you.
Yeah.
And they
Definitely.
and after the 20 seconds, they like you a little bit less.
I
Just
s-
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how he could ever be read as the like hero of the movie. Like after that scene where he's just like acting like a petulant child in the bar and just like no, I'm not talking.
Yeah, where he's
Yeah.
like, well, I actually don't care about how. I think he actually says like, I don't care about how you feel.
And
or
he
something.
kisses that chick
Oh
like
my
against,
God.
against her will.
Yeah.
Like to.
Let's roll him up in a mattress and put him in a wood chipper.
Well, I think the only thing that's like it's so like it's odd that you say that because like the thing I guess that's supposed to redeem him ultimately like wouldn't have happened if the original Ducky cut is in.
Yeah.
Because like at the end like
Can
he
you
just
find
gets his
it?
way then.
Do you
Like he
think-
just gets
well
Do you
because like
think
he
you can
should,
find
like
it on
I
the
think
internet?
like the redemption is supposed to be like
when he tells her to go get him, right?
yeah and like I think like after the thing he learned he knows he's been a fuckhead so like this when he shows up to prom because she knows like you're supposed okay the redemption starts when he fucking tries to beat up James Spader like then you're supposed to be like okay like
He's targeting the right guy. At
well, he's
least.
targeting the right guy. Like, he has these misplaced feelings for her. He knows, like, he's almost sticking up for Andrew McCarthy as well at this point.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, then you're, I think, supposed to be like, oh, misplaced affection, but ultimately a good guy. Then when he shows up for the prom, it's kind of like a little more. I think, like, it wasn't terrible the way they tried to redeem him. It just didn't make sense for how noxious he was before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
oh,
And like
was
it wouldn't have worked at all if like she just chose Ducky at the end because like you're right the denouement is him
Yeah.
being like yeah like I've realized my error throughout the movie I've like the rich pricks can be good
Yeah.
deep down.
Yeah, man, I love James Spader in it. Is like he's so cartoonishly villainous.
I thought you
I-
love him.
I kind of do. Like,
There's so many of these movies.
She's
have just,
trash.
Like, unrealistically cartoonish villains.
Yeah.
who are just like, it's like no one is like that.
they're trying to recreate. I think how those guys
How it
felt
feels to
when
you,
you
yeah.
were that way. Good way I've seen that described with other things. Back to video games really quickly.
Oh.
Best descriptive thing is Breath of the Wild is what like Ocarina of Time felt like in 1998. It's exactly that comparison. James Spader is Breath of the Breath of the Wild to the real life Ocarina of Time.
I think it's like also I'm not sure how what the difference is culturally between Australia and America, but I think like the whole thing with him being cartoonishly evil is meant to like more be a comment on like classism than anything else.
Yes.
And I feel like 20 years later, like Veronica Mars really nails that down much
Yeah.
better than this did.
Also, what year was Pretty in Pink released again?
Sometime in the 80s.
That was it was Reagan on it was like Reagan shit happening.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
86.
Like it makes sense that you'd like culturally it makes sense that you'd focus on like a sort of like
86.
an aristocratic like sort of classist elite sort of thing in a time where the wealth gap was like
Yeah.
Like, one, growing, but also like it was very much in the public conscious that the wealth gap was growing.
Because like I do think the scene where she is reluctant to let Andrew McCarthy take her home is kind of like it's a good. Like I do think there's like a part of it where you're like, oh, you've like felt the embarrassment sometimes of like
these things are why it's better than 16 Candles. But I just hated John Cryer specifically so fucking much, and the messaging around it.
John Cryer sucks.
I'm very glad he didn't get the girl. I feel much better that he didn't get the girl.
John Cryer sucks. He probably didn't need redemption. But then again, like, I mean, like, I've seen people act like that when I was in school. Like, I've probably been a little guilty of it myself with, like, girls that you like. And
we
so,
all
like,
have, yeah.
So the reason you hate him now is because, like, you recognize something you don't like about yourself in him. And also because now that toxic masculinity has been brought kind of into the mainstream, you recognize that it's such an awful behavior where it's like maybe
we all were so much better educated about it.
Yeah,
now,
well, exactly. Like, well, 20 years ago, like, you probably would have been like, oh, he's just like, he's acting out because he didn't get the girl. Poor guy. Like, he's been there the whole time. Now you kind of learn that it's a cycle of like predatory behavior, and that it's something
what was intention and motivation?
Yeah, and like the slavish devotion in the beginning is maybe ultimately more harmful to him and her. So like, yeah, I think it's just a changing of the times. Like, you can't read that because like obviously he's written in mind as being like a good guy deep down.
Yeah, I know, man. Look at us, two woke kings doing a podcast with a trans woman.
Yeah. Fucking recognizing our past mistakes and moving on like the kings we are.
The fucking heroes.
Let's get some ex-girlfriends on and be like, sorry I treated you bad.
Can I please get a cookie for doing the right thing? That's what I want. Would you really boil it down? Yeah, thanks.
But I don't like these are oh baby, we're getting film analysis now. Here are some of the reasons why it's better than 16 Candles. One, it's got more of a like, even though I wouldn't call either plot substantial, they're both kind of slice of life things. This one makes more sense.
This one makes a lot more sense, and all the characters are more like likable, except John Cryer. They're likable, more sympathetic.
Which brings me to point number 2. He's really tampered down the ridiculous comic instincts he has from 16. So there's no long duck dong. There's no stupid sound effects. There's no like boing effect when a pair of titties comes out.
This isn't really a comedy.
John Cryer's supposed to be funny, for sure.
John Cryer's
busting jokes all the time.
John Cryer's supposed to be
He's the comic relief, but this is like a drama.
Yeah, I guess, but there's a substantial comic relief element. But yeah, it's not a comedy in the same... You're right. It's not a comedy in the same way that 16 Candles is.
There are more universally real moments. Like, I guess, like, some people might be like, my parents forgot my birthday, that's a terrible thing. But this, like, I think the scene where McCarthy takes Molly Ringwald to that party and those two people are really mean to her. I think that, like,
that's good. Yeah, I liked that. This, you know, okay, here's the thing. What do you think is your... Have we seen all the John Hughes movies for the pod now?
We've seen a few.
No,
what are we missing?
A lot.
Oh, because I feel like we've done all the big ones.
I mean, like Home Alone, he wrote. I don't think he wrote St. Elmo's Fire. It's just the same cast. Let's look it up.
It's just Brat Pack.
Yeah,
people.
I think we've watched the big ones.
Did he write Home Alone? Did you say
he did write Home Alone?
All right. Well, that one doesn't count.
Didn't he write like Uncle Buck or something?
He wrote Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is like legit.
Really?
I've never actually seen that.
It's quite good.
To be super funny.
It's quite good.
He also did the National Lampoon's Vacation movies.
Right, well, they're bad.
Uncle Buck, he did write the Beethoven franchise.
Okay,
so we've watched all the like.
So we're talking.
We've watched his coming of age
80s
movies.
coming of age. John Hughes. When people think of John Hughes, is what they're thinking of movies.
Yeah. Are you what's the best one?
What's the best one?
The Breakfast Club, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
I didn't like Ferris Bueller. I don't like any of these.
I probably enjoy Ferris Bueller the most, but The Breakfast Club I think is pretty inarguably the best.
Yeah. Maybe. I didn't really like The Breakfast Club that much. I think Pretty in Pink was only a little worse than The Breakfast Club.
Hang on a second here. So he has also made the movies Dennis the Menace, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which features an adorable little Macaulay Culkin.
And an adorable adult Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Further.
And an adorable young man, Rob Schneider.
Solidifying John Hughes is a pedophile.
John Hughes
was a pedophile.
John Hughes didn't direct those movies.
Oh, but I'm sure he was there on set.
Fiddling with Macaulay.
No.
Yeah, Paul Macaulay.
Yeah, I mean...
He seems to have landed.
So you guys think Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
I think I got to say Ferris Bueller.
I think, like, Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's are the two left that still can legitimately claim to be good movies. Like, I think 16 Candles is dated so much now that like if
It's,
you're
like, bad.
like if you're saying it's good, it's because you watched it when you're in your teens.
Yeah.
And you like there's just no way. Like I don't think you could even get like Roger Ebert to re-review it. I mean, he's dead, so you can't get him to do that anyway. But
Yeah.
like if he was to look at it now,
Who's number 2 on the list? Just Alexi or
yeah, if we get Alexi to do it,
Margaret and David?
man, I'll message Alexi right now and ask him.
Yeah, all right.
I'll see what he says.
It's pretty cool that you're flexing publicly. That you can just message Alexi anytime. One of the hosts of the top most 14 intellectual
sucks.
podcasts of the decade.
Whatever, we've all been friends with him for years.
Oh man, we're all just dropping that in, aren't we?
What one?
his house
What one
the
are we
other day?
asking him about? Are we asking him about 16 Candles? Yeah.
We're saying, what's the best John Hughes movie? And yeah, do people still think 16 Candles
Yeah.
holds up?
While you're asking that, what is your favorite Brat Pack member? The core members are considered to be Emilio
we should have just got
Estevez,
him on the pod.
Anthony Michael Hall, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, and Ali Sheedy.
Mine's Rob Lowe because I like The West Wing.
Mine would be Judd Nelson because he's fucking Bender, dude. He rules.
That's true.
I mean, you got to go with Emilio Estevez for the old Mighty Ducks.
I haven't seen the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, what?
Wait, hold on. But Rob Lowe is in The West Wing, but also Emilio Estevez's dad is in The West Wing.
That's true.
And I prefer Emilio Estevez's dad, who is Martin Sheen. I prefer his character in The West Wing than I do Rob Lowe's character. So I don't know. Maybe it's a tie.
Rob Lowe, Parks and Rec.
Rob Lowe is very good at Parks and Rec. Rob Lowe also a sex criminal, so keep that in mind.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I've been to sex rehab a few times. I sleeping with like underage girls, and there's like a sex tape of him with an underage girl and another actor. I can't remember who it is.
Right.
Like another adult actor. Like, yeah, it's pretty fun. This is when he was like in his 20s and shit. Like, this isn't like recent. But
Here we go. Alexi Toliopoulos. I'm not a John Hughes fan, really.
vindicated.
I am selfish. I am wrong. I am right. I swear I'm right. My
Swear I
favorite
knew
is
it all
my
along.
favorite is Home Alone, and he only wrote it.
Fair enough.
There you go. Ask him if he thinks he's a pedophile.
I'm.
You also can't really read out things he says that if he doesn't know they're going to be
well, no.
broadcast.
That's true.
No, I said we're potting.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Great. Oh, no problem.
And I said, "Is 16 Candles any good?" And he said, "I think his movies are a bit icky," which is kind of what you're saying.
I think his
They're
movies
icky.
are a lot fucking icky.
They're really icky.
But I think even the good ones are a bit icky.
I think Ferris Bueller is maybe the only one that doesn't have any like completely icky parts, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm taking it back. Ferris Bueller's is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast
Fer-
Club is my
Fer-
favorite just because it seems so much more seminal.
Ferris Bueller is just like a kind of harmless romp where not a lot happens, but they have a good time.
I
so
know.
like,
Yeah.
it's
You know
hard
what?
to fuck.
The
anyone with
scene with what's Ferris's friend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Cameron.
Cameron. The scene of like Cameron in the art gallery. I know it's like dumb and lame and sentimental or whatever, but like I think it's kind of nice. It's got some Smiths music. It's got like he's like learning to appreciate art for the first time. Whatever. That's pretty cool. I like this. You know, the scene where of all like the dumb big dance and musical numbers in John Hughes movies, Ferris Bueller's like twist and shout scene is like the only one that I think is even watchable. Even the Breakfast Club one makes me cringe
Yeah,
so
but the
much.
Breakfast Club one makes me cringe in a way as like this is still stupid as shit. Like it's
Yeah.
not like oh
If
It
you,
wasn't like Ducky.
I reckon.
yes, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah. I reckon if you took Ducky out of Pretty in Pink would beat Breakfast Club for me.
Yeah, but if you take Ducky out of Breakfast Club, what do you
What's
put
even
in?
happening?
Story.
Yeah.
It's just,
You put Andrew Hastings
girl
in.
is worried
Yeah, and then
she's
he gets
poor.
the girl, obviously.
Andrew Hastings gets the girl.
Yeah, Andrew Hastings gets the girl.
Yeah.
16-year-old Andrew Hastings gets the girl.
Andrew
I like the
McHastings.
idea of putting like 2019 Andrew Hastings in this 1980s comedy where like James Spader's like saying shit and you're like, hey man, that's actually classist.
Well,
And
this-
he's like, what the fuck
This
is
is the problem.
that,
My,
bitch?
my moves wouldn't work pre-2010 because people don't know what the words I've just learnt and then repeating to them immediately mean. Like,
How about James
the word
Spader's, like-
intersectional isn't in the zeitgeist. The word
Yeah.
zeitgeist isn't even in the zeitgeist.
Polyamory, it doesn't mean
like,
anything.
None
to
of my
them.
moves would work. Like,
calling it polygamy at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like what Mormons do.
Yeah, and they think
Yeah.
think you're a fucking sex pervert.
absolutely.
What's with James Spader just like having a durry at school? Like,
Well, because you could just
inside.
do that.
Could you though?
I think you
I feel like
could.
you'd get really.
I think, well, at the very least, there were smoking areas, and he was probably just a bad boy. Like, I think the point with...
kids weren't allowed. They're not old enough to smoke.
Well, I think the point that they're trying to play up there is that, like, not only is he kind of a bad boy, but also that he's rich and feels like he can get away with whatever
Absolutely.
he wants.
True, yeah.
It's that entitlement thing. As a
Yeah.
Northern Beaches boy, I've
Yeah, and
encountered
so like to
plenty of it.
him, like a public school teacher coming over to him being like, "You can't smoke," he'd
He's like,
probably
"Whatever,
be like,
cunt."
"Yeah," he's like, "Here's a 20, fucking tell someone who fucking cares."
Yeah, man.
Hit the bricks.
That's so sick that he has that power.
Yeah, it's cool. We should go.
Yep.
Bye.
in
No,
time.
yeah.
All right. Come to Powerbomb Comedy every Friday night.
Absolutely, except it's not on
Oh,
for the next few weeks.
when are we back for next
I
year?
think we're back
We've booked it in. I just can't remember
I
the
know
date.
when we are. Sorry.
Also update. Don't go to UTS.
Yeah, never again.
Never go to UTS.
Don't even go. If you're thinking of sending your children to university,
Don't. Not
don't.
UTS.
They tell lies.
Yeah.
And they're all child molesters.
They can eat a fucking bullet.
The first, they can eat a fucking bullet and my dick. 17th of January, Powerbomb comes back with Matt O'Kine.
Yeah. Great.
To
Come to Matterkind. It'll be great.
to the next step.
To the next step.
UTS can put a fucking bullet in their mouth.